Support for the show can be you. Lux Media just relaunched the merch shop, and there's new stuff going up all the time. Go to shop.lvx.be, go snag yourself some threads. You can also go to patreon.lvx.be, sign up over there and get ad-free episodes and a 20% off shop discount every month. Ad-free, discounts. What more do you want? Seriously, what more do you want? Let me know.
The B-side in boxing.
B-side shit.
B-side.
B-side.
And the B-side.
Don't brag about taking my side piece! Don't brag about taking my side piece!
That B-side thing.
This is the B-Sides Boxing Podcast.
I left with his belt and his girl.
Oh, man. I think the name came together really nicely. Boxing Before Dark.
Yeah.
I think we're cooking with something here.
But the internet has ruined me. Did you notice what the
BBD? I did.
Yeah.
I thought
we
about
went
it.
from side pieces to BBDs.
Yeah. I saw it and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going with it.
Yeah.
It'll be part of the charm.
It made me laugh.
It's all good. Boxing Before Dark. I was gonna put that on there to set up a formal introduction at some point. Man, I got to do an interview today, and it was really fucking cool. It was with an author. His name is Clay Risen. He wrote this book called Red Scare. It's a book about McCarthyism and how it's starting to crop back up. McCarthyism, for the uninitiated, it's like back in the 40s and 50s, after post-World War II, there was the immediate aftermath where being a communist was like being the devil, pretty much. So that's what McCarthyism, that term means, like the witch hunt for alleged communists or alleged gay people and vilifying and driving them out of public life. So,
sorry, I thought I recognized his name. Is he the guy who writes about bourbon?
Yes. I completely forgot to ask him about that. As soon as we hung up, I was like, shit, he has like 5 fucking books on bourbon. Like, I need to ask him about this.
I will say that's the one thing I am slightly missing. It's not that it makes any difference in Japan, but I have also not been buying the American alcohols out of solidarity. I miss bourbon. Nobody makes bourbon like the Americans.
Yeah, that's our thing. Like they don't, the Japanese, or not the Irish or Scottish. God, what's wrong with me? They don't call it Scotch. Everyone else does because they just call it
single
whiskey.
Malt or whatever.
Yeah. And
well, Canada does have some smaller distilleries, I guess, that are making bourbon-like drinks. They have to call them bourbon-like because bourbon's made in America.
Yeah, if it doesn't come from the bourbon region of Kentucky, then it's just
corn whiskey.
Yeah, spicy corn water.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand people that do that. They're all pedantic like that.
I finally, this even hurts more because I finally found a bottle of Blanton's to buy, which is my favorite. It's fucking expensive now. I'm gonna sound like such a hipster douche, but I found it when it was still cheap, and now they've gotten popular. It's like $200 a bottle.
Okay, what?
Yeah, I won't be buying it anyways, boycott or not. But
I don't recall. I think the most I've ever spent on a single bottle is like $120. I
bought gift bottles that were $200.
Okay,
like
that
birthday,
makes sense. Yeah.
Anniversary, whatever. But yeah, no, not usually.
Well, Red Scare from the Bourbon Guy, that'll be coming out. Part of the Lux Media family, Progressive Patriots. It's gonna be the first episode in like 2 months, so whatevs.
You're getting all the other podcasts rolling again.
I'm trying my best. One last push, I suppose. The one card in Tokyo. Did you?
Yeah.
You end up catching it?
Well, everything except the main event. I was watching it at work and I ran out of time. But the one card seemed a lot more fun than other MMA. There's way less wrestle fucking.
Yeah.
I do not like the UFC. The one card was really fun. The atmosphere was good. The one kid came out dressed as Luffy from One Piece.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, he's real tall and skinny. I don't know anybody's name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he looked like Fundora but Asian.
That's exactly what I was thinking as I was watching him. He's 6'4", fights at 135. Like, man, you've got plenty of weight classes to go.
Yeah, I missed the main, but I did see that Rod Tang just destroyed that kid.
What I'm told from like somebody who's a little bit Zoe, I think it was. He's a little bit more in depth with the MMA stuff than I am. It was that Takeru, the Japanese kickboxer, he had been still doing hard sparring up to like a week and a half before the fight, and he had a lingering injury that he didn't disclose.
If you're injured, pull out of the fight, or
Right.
no excuses.
Right. If you walk out, you don't have any excuses.
But I also just really like Rod Tang, so I wasn't too sad. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah, Rod Tang in the co-main, the guy, the very slender man, his name is Nibel Anan. He's I think like Thai and Algerian or something. I don't know. I think that's what they were saying. But he fought Superlek, who's another Muay
I
Thai.
recognize that name.
Yeah, he's a Muay Thai monster as well. I think that he's called like the kicking machine or something.
Nice.
And that it was like, who the fuck is this? This is not Superlek. He looked like lethargic.
Well, he must be old now.
He's about 30,
No? Really?
which is old when you're doing Muay Thai.
Yeah, but I hadn't realized he was that young.
Because Luffy guy is like 20 or 21.
How old's Rod Tang? Rod Tang must actually be old.
He's older for sure. I think he's going to be finding his way out of the sport kind of soon. So enjoy him while you
No.
can.
What? Rod Tang's 27?
Is he? He looks old as shit.
Is Rod Tang his real name? Like he's Rod Tang Jit Mong Nong or something?
Yeah, the last name, it's his gym or his sponsor or whatever.
Okay, but I mean, like, I haven't found the wrong
Jiat
guy.
Munong. Yeah, that's the right one.
He's 27.
No fucking way. He looks like he's 37.
Well, and I thought he'd been fighting for like 10 years.
He very well may have. They start really young there.
That's crazy. I thought he was older than me for sure, which would make him ancient, but I guess not.
I think that they still have the mileage on them, and that's why they may seem older than they are.
Yeah.
God.
Well, and yeah. Huh.
That is surprising.
Anyways, yeah, you've been telling me to try the one instead of UFC, and it does look way more fun.
Yeah.
I also have
kickboxing.
decided, now that I've seen all my boxers, I should go to either a one card or a Ryzen card in Japan. The crowd seems more fun.
Ryzen, I think, would be more, just because it's a lot more homegrown.
Yeah,
One
well,
FC.
and I might meet some low-class friends.
Yeah, boxing is for the businessmen. Yeah.
Boxing is fairly high-class, elite kind of stuff in Tokyo. That's the feel it has. There's people scattered around, but it feels fancy, which is weird.
It is. I have always heard it called the gentleman's sport.
Yeah, but that's not really true.
No, that doesn't
in
make
other
a whole lot of
countries.
sense. Exactly. Like thinking of Tijuana ballroom or bar rooms, not ballrooms. Maybe it is a ballroom. Who knows?
Or like the British cards.
Right.
It does not seem like it's the gentlemen that are showing up to watch.
No, it's the hooligans.
But yeah, no, the one I do not like mixed martial arts, but that one card seemed pretty fun.
I had have a little thing that I did with Isaac. We have a little cross promo thing that I play at the end of the boxing shows, which is like, what would you tell a boxing fan, like a purist type of mentality? What can they get out of watching ONE FC, UFC?
UFC's got too much wrestling in it now for me. It's not fun. Even the strikers, they wrestle a lot, but the kickboxing, there's no wrestling. When they fall down, they stand them back up usually.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's stand-up fighting with kicks, which is fun, and the kicks are super impressive sometimes.
There was one guy on there. His name was Jonathan DeBella. He's a smaller weight class, but his boxing is super crisp. Like, usually whenever you're talking about MMA guy or kickboxing or whatever, and you say, oh, their boxing's really good, and usually they're pretty sloppy. They just have like a decent jab, or it's just really basic fundamentals. But DeBella is really good. If he could plant his feet, you could very well be looking at a boxer right there. Nice. Very few that to get that acclaim from me. I think I've only got 3 that I've ever. Jonathan DeBella's three of 3. But yeah, I tell everybody, if you want to get into more combat sports and you're a boxing head, kickboxing is the easiest alternative to start with, because it's boxing but with kicks added. And then Muay Thai.
Yeah, because they wear like boxing style gloves too, so there can't be any grappling.
Right. And then if you want to move a little further, Muay Thai, they add the elbows and the knees. And they can do a little bit of clinching, but you have to be actively working in a clinch, or else they'll split you up.
And they still stand them up when they get thrown.
Right. If there's like trips or pushes or anything, that you stand up immediately. Like, they do still have the 10 count knockdown, but it has to be a very clear and obvious knockdown. A usual technique is like in Muay Thai, they throw a kick and it gets caught, and as they're holding it, they throw a punch over the top, and then that usually sends the guy down, and that's like a knockdown.
Yeah, because my biggest problem with mixed martial arts is the ground game. I just find it boring as fuck.
And there are submission grappling competitions on ONE FC, which is just pure grappling. And it's paradoxical, because I have the same problem with ground game stuff in UFC. But submission grappling, it's like watching master chefs cook.
Yeah, I say this all the time when I'm making arguments with people. Grappling is like soccer. I'm sure it takes a whole bunch of skill. I sure as hell couldn't do it. People love it. It's super popular. I think it's boring as hell to watch.
Yeah, you're either gonna get it or you don't. You can be brought onto it, but you gotta be, you gotta want it, or it's not gonna happen, because it can be pretty homoerotic.
Very. Which I'm not against. I love reading homoerotic comics, but watching it on TV is weird.
Yeah, not quite my thing. Oh man, the big news. Deep sigh. George Foreman. We mentioned it the last time, just kind of in passing, that an acknowledgement, but holy cow. Looking into his life, I didn't realize how much he had transcended the sport.
Yeah, George Foreman was a phenomenon for a while, and I hadn't realized he had multiple TV shows.
Really?
He had, like, it's only one season. I think it got canceled pretty quick, but Family Foreman was him and his family, but like a scripted TV show. And there was also one just called George that was a sitcom as well.
Scripted family show. So, yeah, it's like a sitcom.
Like,
but with all his kids?
I never watched it, but it looks like it was written kind of like Sanford and Sons, maybe. Did you remember that one?
Yeah.
But like him and all his kids. Yeah. So I didn't know Big George had a TV show. That one was from 2008, and then his other TV show I think came before that. Yeah, he had a TV show in the 90s when he was doing his comeback.
That's about the time he had his infomercial series as well.
Yeah.
When he did all this grill stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So.
The George Foreman KO boxing video game. I had that on Sega Genesis. It was not very good. It was hard. It was a good, like a spiritual successor to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It did have that similar level of difficulty.
Yeah, I always think that people have forgotten how scary George Foreman was in his first run. Like, there's a few interviews, and I meant to go find the clip, but there's one where it's old George talking about his mindset in his first heavyweight run. And he's like, I hated how nobody respected me, nobody liked me. And he said, well, if I kill one of these guys, then they'll have to respect me.
Oh, boy. One of those.
But it's old George, like, happy, friendly voice. But it just, like, even George trying to not be scary was a little scary.
His first professional loss was to Muhammad Ali. In the little blurb thing that Serial's putting together, I had mentioned that even though he was on the losing side of it, he still, like, cemented himself as one of the greats to hang with Ali like that.
Yeah.
Bop and Joe Frazier, who was undefeated. I didn't know that Joe Frazier was undefeated at the time. That makes that win a whole lot crazier.
When Big George entered the scene, he shocked a lot of people. I don't think anybody really expected him to be that good in the professionals that quickly.
76-5. That is unbelievable. I remember watching George Foreman versus Evander Holyfield. I think I saw Michael Moorer.
I've watched that fight a couple times, and he's so crafty in it. And I don't know how much of it is true. I do feel like George might rewrite history slightly in some of his storytelling. But he, in interviews afterwards, he's like, I was only throwing my punches at about 60%, waiting for just the right time to hit him. Like, let him get confident that he can take my punches, that I'm just an old man and I don't hit like I used to, and wear him down and wear him down. And he's like, I had to pick the perfect time to throw that one big punch, because if I let him know the trick too soon, he would get cautious and I'd never get a second chance.
That stepping uppercut that he would do, that's immediately what comes to mind.
The Jerry Clooney?
Yeah.
Just, that is the most casual knockout ever performed in a boxing ring.
What I didn't watch, what I meant to watch before we chatted today, was the loss to Shannon Briggs, because he was almost 49 years old at the time, and Shannon Briggs is not that good.
Yeah, but
49.
Age is a factor,
Yeah.
man.
It still took him to a majority decision. That is pretty nuts. That raises a lot of question marks, Shannon. It's not very canon-like behavior.
Yeah, man. I guess he'd been sick. I don't think they had told anybody, but this was apparently not a surprise to his family at all. And now that I think about it, we haven't had any new Big George stuff in quite a few years.
True. Like, even at his late age, Ali was still going around doing stuff. He was very clearly in bad shape, but he would, like, I saw him, no kidding, he was at my first, like, official date with my then girlfriend, the one that went to Vegas with me. We went to this little jazz festival, and they like stopped everything to let Muhammad Ali walk up to his private box.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. And then she didn't know anything about boxing. She's like, What are you talking about? Like, do you not know who that is?
How do you not know who Muhammad Ali is?
Once I said the name, of course. Then once I said
right.
the name,
Oh, she just didn't recognize.
Yeah,
him.
she had no idea what he actually looked like.
I can see that, especially an older, sick Ali didn't really look like Ali anymore.
He was in rough shape. I expect that George has stayed home to kind of not tarnish that big legacy. Or appearance.
I heard a rumor. I don't know how confident you can be in it, but that he'd had a few strokes.
Oh.
So I wonder if he really wanted to kind of hide that and remain the big George Foreman, not, some guy who was having trouble walking anymore.
Right, because his whole face, and he'd be slurring all his words. I can imagine he'd want to save face a little bit.
I haven't seen that from any really good media, but I've seen a couple rumors online, and that would make sense too, I think.
Yeah, wouldn't be too surprising.
But we have talked about Big George and not made fun of the fact that he named all his kids George. Because how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, I think even the girls are like Georgette or something like that.
One of them is Georgina, and then the other girl had a regular name, the one that boxed.
He had a kid that boxed?
Yeah, one of his daughters was female heavyweight champ. Really? Was it Georgina that boxed or the other one?
I don't know. I didn't know any of his kids did. I knew one of his sons did, but I think his dad talked him out of it after a little while. Frida?
I think it's Frida that boxed. I think it was Frida. I don't think Georgetta boxed. It's whichever of the girls is dead.
Oh.
But that's
having to bury one of your kids.
Helpful.
Good Lord.
Because there was for a little while talk that she was going to fight Ali's daughter.
Layla. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Frida Foreman. And I'm pretty sure she was a champion in the early days of women's boxing. All I can find are articles on her death, though, because of course that's all I can find.
All of his kids are named George. A modern version is the Gary Antoine Russell, or the Gary Russells. There's like 5 of them. 3 of them box. All of them have the first name Gary.
It's so weird. It's gotta be so weird at home. Like, they must go by their middle names. You got to.
You have to. I would, if I had, I would have liked to name one of my sons after me, but it would just be one. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Frida Foreman's middle name was George.
Oh, well done. Can't not.
I am wrong. She never had any of the belts.
No.
But Jesus Christ, George. I did not realize her middle name was George.
I didn't either. It makes me think that the other one is also. Oh, she's Georgetta. Yeah, that's right.
Is she Georgetta George Foreman? Because that would be madness.
Man, anything more for George?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think people with much more time on their hands have gone over his career really well. But to me, George Foreman's always just going to be more the inspirational guy than anything else.
Yeah. I had always wanted a George Foreman grill just because it was George Foreman's. But I never got one as much as I asked for one. Then when I got to my first duty station in the military, I might have told this bit already, but that was the hot commodity, was having a George Foreman grill in your room. 'Cause if everyone got a microwave by default, but zapping everything is not very fun.
You can't microwave a steak.
Right. It's exactly right. And so sometimes like Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, you'll smell like steaks and chicken and stuff going on in the hallway. I'm like, man, I hate being a fucking new guy right now. Because it would take me like 3 hours on the bus to get to the shop where I can buy one, and then another 3 hours getting back. And I don't know if it's that worth it.
I got 3 of them for graduation presents, and my mom is adamant that you don't throw out presents, and George Foreman grills never break, so I still have 3 George Foreman grills.
Other than the power conversion, they would be good for like Japanese living.
There's no grounds in the plugins here. Yeah, but the sockets are the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all Americanized.
I remember them being the 2-prong.
Yeah, but I mean, they are 2 prongs. They're not like British or European.
That's what I remember them being like, is European.
Oh, not here.
Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. In today's digital world, threats are everywhere. From sneaky spyware to intrusive viruses, your computers and mobile devices are constantly at risk. Losing your personal data, financial information, or even having your device held ransom is a nightmare no one wants to face. And that's why you need to look at Malwarebytes. It's the ultimate shield for digital life. Malwarebytes provides powerful real-time antivirus and anti-malware protection, keeping computers and smartphones safe from the latest threats. For those with 10 or more devices, Malwarebytes has you covered. From laptops and tablets to smartphones, Malwarebytes family plans provide comprehensive protection you can trust. Don't wait until it's too late. Secure your digital world with Malwarebytes and get the peace of mind you deserve, knowing that your data and your devices are safe. Go to mwb.lvx.be and get 50% off your subscription today. Here's a little hint, you can reuse that code later down the line with a new account. Keep saving for yourself and help us out a little bit too in the process. Support for this episode is from Ramen Bay. Ever have that ramen craving hit hard? You know the feeling. Sometimes you want that rich, savory broth and those perfectly chewy noodles, but you don't have time for all the fuss. Well, say hello to Ramen Bay. They've taken the best ingredients for ramen and freeze-dried them for ultimate convenience and incredible flavor. Imagine, vibrant vegetables, flavorful proteins, and aromatic seasonings, all ready to rehydrate into a bowl of pure satisfaction. No chopping or long simmering, just add hot water and a healthy spritz of Ramen Bay. Because the ingredients are freeze-dried and vacuum sealed, they lock in taste, giving you a quick and easy meal that doesn't compromise on quality or flavor. So, the next time the ramen urge hits, don't forget Ramen Bay. It's your new, not-so-secret ingredient to a delicious, hassle-free situationship anytime. Hit up the Bay for ramen and chill at ramen.lvx.be or use code LVX10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off every order and help us out a little bit when you do. That's Ramen Bay. ramen.lvx.be. All right, this one is news to me. Kazuto Ioka, his fight is rescheduled again. Who was he supposed to fight this time?
Same guy.
Martinez?
Yeah.
Oh, why did it get rescheduled this time?
Oh, no, I think I confused you with the wording. It's not rescheduled again. I just mean it's coming up soon.
Oh, the reschedule's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. That...
I wasn't sure if we had already talked about that on the podcast, and I was looking for filler.
Yeah, no,
honest.
I don't think we did.
It's May 11th in Tokyo. That's why I put it up. They just announced the venue.
Where's it going to be?
And the date. Ota City, which is where he always fights. It's that other side of Tokyo. It's technically still Tokyo, but it's really like Kanagawa.
The not so good part? Or...
Yeah, well, Tokyo is the name of the prefecture.
Yeah.
So what everybody thinks of as Tokyo is kind of like the 5 or 6 areas or whatever, but this is the outskirts area right near Yokohama.
Ah, I see what you mean. Okay, so the Tokyo Prefecture, that would be like a metropolitan area?
Well, Tokyo is not the name of the city. Tokyo is the name of the prefecture.
Oh, okay, yep, clicked, got it.
Yeah, so it's just what everybody calls all those cities that have grown together.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's hard to explain without sounding super douchey, but like if New York City was a state and the 5 boroughs would be the cities.
Yeah.
That's what Tokyo is. Tokyo is actually the prefecture.
That's what I had in mind, actually, was the 5 boroughs. That's what I was thinking of.
But this would be more like whatever city is just outside of New York. I don't know New York at all. Like New Jersey.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's exactly what I was gonna say. The old Sopranos line jumped to my head.
This other pygmy thing over in Jersey.
Yeah, so it's in the same place. It's May 11th, and I think I'm gonna buy another ticket.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you're gonna go. You should if you can.
I have told myself that I need to go to less boxing matches, but because they are starting to add up expense-wise, because I've gotten a little spoiled. I want the nice seats.
Oh.
So they're about $300 an event, which is still very reasonable, but I've gone to a lot of events now.
I think I only sprung for seats like that one time, where I paid for the front row, not on the floor, but where the bowl ends.
Yeah, that's where I've been buying them.
Yeah, the seats were like 500.
They're so nice though.
Yeah, I know. It was such a perfect view. I had perfect view of everything. It was the best.
You can see their feet, you can hear the punches. Half the time I can hear them yelling at each other. It's great.
It's like I'm on that elevated platform where the judges sit, where they're just off to the side and they get that one side view. Like that's the seat that I like.
So I either need to be less spoiled and sit farther back, which I did at the last one, and it was still fine. The arenas here are not that big, but
I'm gonna need to start the Hardcore Fans Club. It's gonna be a subscription-based thing where you pay in monthly, but then when hot tickets come out, you'll get them at like 75% off because
that would be awesome
because you're paying into it for a few months.
Speaking of tickets, I totally missed that prospect that I really like. Aoi Yokoyama is fighting today. He fights in, I don't know, like 6 hours. So I did not get a ticket, but it's going to be on Abema, which nobody's going to hear this before then, but you should watch it. He's, I think, the co-main. He's fighting for Asia Pacific?
OPBF?
Pacific Oriental? Yeah, Oriental Pacific belt. There we go.
Already?
Yeah, it's like his 3rd fight.
Yeah, that's actually really quick.
Yeah, I've been translating. He doesn't get any press in English. I've been translating the things he puts up on Instagram, and if the translation is correct, which it could be, maybe not, and the English wasn't great, but it's the fastest a Japanese boxer has gone for one of those international belts.
Very cool.
Maybe in his weight class. Maybe ever. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's Google Translate. So. But I think I sent it to you. His grandparents' retirement home did another good luck video. I love it.
That's the sweetest thing. I thought he was just I didn't know that it was his grandparents' place, but it makes sense why he's there all the time. Or is that where they live? I
might be assuming
that
it's his grandparents. Maybe he's just really good friends with one of the old guys, but there's one old guy that's always in his videos that, again, it's all in Japanese. I assume it's his granddad, but maybe it isn't. Maybe he just volunteers there.
Yeah, either way, it's still really cool that he spends a lot of time there.
Yeah.
I know elder care is a hot button consideration for the declining birth rate there.
Yeah, there's a lot more old people than young people here, unfortunately. That's a lot of the, how would you put it? Non-prestigious jobs are done by incredibly old people here. Like, I think the janitors I see at the university are all in their 70s, at least.
Wow.
Because young people want good jobs, and there's not enough young people to fill the jobs anyways. So who sweeps the floors? But
I remember reading somewhere, and this was like 10 years ago, that Japan is headed for its own, Korea as well, but they're headed towards pandemics, and the illness is good. It's not going to be contagious, so I don't know if pandemic's the right word, but like dementia and Alzheimer's are going to decimate a large portion of the population, and there's really no way to stop it.
Well, and Japan specifically has a lot of intestinal cancers for some reason, which is part of why my research gets funded here with the microbiome stuff.
I see.
Yeah. But anyways, the young guy, Aoi Yokoyama, is fighting tonight, and I'm going to watch it. We will report back later. I actually don't even know who's the main event in this one.
Is it at Korakuen?
I don't know. I didn't really look. I can probably figure it out.
Jamal Charlo's coming back on the 31st of May on the Caleb Plant undercard.
Nice. All right, why?
I don't know. After this long,
I don't recognize the weigh-in place, so I'm not sure if he is fighting in Tokyo. I don't think so. None of this looks like Tokyo in the kanji that's not translating. He's fighting a Filipino champion, Jamel Magramo.
Is he the Filipino Boxing Federation guy?
I don't know.
Filipino champ.
Oh, his name is spelled different.
No indications of who Jamal is going to be fighting. Hopefully.
They are fighting in some place I have never heard of. I just found it on BoxRec. Aichi Sky Expo in Tokoname.
Where the hell is that?
No idea.
Joshua, next fight moves a step closer, and it's going to be either Dubois or Tyson Fury. If you can't get them, it's going to be Joseph Parker.
AJ versus Parker might be interesting.
I think that Parker would do a lot better this time around.
Oh, speaking of heavyweights, Derek Chisora is the IBF mandatory. Are they trying to kill this poor man? What the fuck?
I think if they give him a title fight and he loses, he'll walk away.
He had his retirement speech before his last fight, and then he won it.
Yeah, he sent Otto Wallin flying like a full 90-degree turn.
Fucking Chisora, the career that won't die.
Yeah, hopefully this last one is the final one. Finally. It's too much. It's too much to watch him keep doing this.
Wow. And he always sounds so out of breath.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to go away where people are going to be asking questions, like looking back, like, why did nobody stop him? When
I think it's already there.
You think
Is it not?
I think we're on the cusp of it, and it's just going to take one more like hard shot or hard fight to push him over the edge. And I don't know what over the edge really means. I'm not accusing him of anything. Just saying I think something's going to, like, with his health is going to click in the wrong way.
Right.
And people are going to be like, why did we allow this to happen?
Well, I mean, he must be passing the physicals, but who knows how hard that is, especially in Britain. I feel like the British Boxing Commission does not take fighters' health super seriously.
They do take egg consumption really seriously.
Do they?
Yeah, do they? Really? Yeah, you're right. Bob Arum doesn't want Tyson Fury to fight AJ.
Bob Arum was saying something about how he wants Tyson to retire, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Stay retired. If your retirement is genuine, then stay retired. Don't come out of it anymore.
Hasn't he retired like 4 times?
Something like that.
Fucking Fury.
Yeah. Reports indicate that he earned in excess of $100 million US for the 2 Usyk fights.
But why would you come back? I would just $100 million. You could live off that forever.
You could live off the interest forever.
Yeah. This is why I would never be a world-class anything. I would get just enough money and I would quit.
You step in to fight AJ. AJ is trying to prove that he still belongs, whereas Fury kind of already has.
Well, and Fury also has kind of looked like shit off and on many times.
Yeah. I don't like it. I think I agree with Bob here. Uncle Bob knows what he's talking about right now. Tyson. Speaking of slamming, Bruce Carrington says Espinoza doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah, he was twittering about
is that where that's from?
How Espinoza is ducking him. Pretty sure it was Twitter.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that very much.
No, I don't believe it at all. I think Espinoza will fight anyone.
He may not be built like your typical Mexican fighter, and he doesn't always necessarily fight like one, but like the pride is there, and it's not a good idea. That's not the beehive you want to poke on a Mexican fighter. There are other things you can do, but that's inadvisable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would want to piss Espinoza off before a fight. I would be so boring. I would be so respectful. Yeah. Don't give anybody any fuel.
Yeah, they're really good. Did you see their last fight? They won by knockout. That was incredible. That's so... Wow. Let's everyone take a moment.
I guess there are quite a few fighters like that, actually. But
yeah. A lot of them have to be translated.
Yeah. Well, even like... who am I thinking of? No, lost it. Anyways, there's some in English too that are always just really nice. I always kind of wonder too how much of the translated guys they're just not translating it properly.
It happens a lot.
Like I don't actually understand any other languages, but sometimes I'm like, that is not what he said. I don't think.
I try my best whenever I'm in if I'm in Discord with everybody and there's a Spanish translation, I try my best to throw my own on top of it, just because the translators are usually ass. The ones that have been good, the like Scottish guy that's on DAZN
with the Notebook.
Yeah, him. He's really
He seems really good. He even says it the same way in English. Like he puts the same feeling behind the words when he translates.
The Thai translator at 1FC is really good that way as well. He gives the same emphasis bidirectionally on, or the same enthusiasm. The Brazilian translator for UFC is good, and most recently Olasquaga's translator, though it was a Japanese woman.
I don't like her.
You know?
No.
Not the English one. It was this Spanish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know that one. No, the one who does English in Japan, I don't like her translations. I don't think they're very good.
Very cutesy voice. Is that who we're thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not necessarily her voice that bothers me.
No, yeah, that's just how I remember her.
I pick up enough of the words. I'm like, that's not really what he was saying.
Yeah, Felix de Jesus was like that. I'm glad he didn't get picked back up for PBC on Prime. Terrible.
Yeah, I really like that Scottish guy, though. Yeah. He's, like, it's a weird thing to say, but he is my favorite translator. When I see him at the cards, I'm like, yes.
No, it's a real thing. Not not getting the real feeling of what somebody is actually saying. You're losing a lot of real. It's not like atmosphere, but it's a serious ingredient. Is having the fighters' perspectives.
Yeah,
makes part of what makes understanding their native language good.
Yeah.
Like Felix say, a guy would go off saying, "I had a really great opponent. He was really tough, but we prepared for everything and we came out on top." And then the translator will say, "Like, yeah, we got the job done." Like, I'm sorry,
that's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
Yeah.
But man, I'm gonna have to get the names of these people because there's this other guy. He does Spanish and it's not the Scottish guy, but he also does DAZN stuff. He does the Islander Spanish. He translates that really well because
like the Cubans.
Yeah, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. I struggle understanding with them sometimes.
The blonde lady that does the English and Spanish interviews on DAZN, she seems really good too, and it impresses me how she switches back and forth all the time.
ProBox has one like that too. It's also blonde lady, a little younger though.
Yeah, I'm always impressed when people can switch like that, like
on the fly.
Yeah.
Speaking of on the fly, Tara Moana with another early stoppage. If you're not watching Tara Moana, you should be. 5 fights in 2024, 5 stoppages, kicking off 2026 with a stoppage.
Does the dance afterwards.
Yeah, awesome. He toned it down. I didn't appreciate that. Tara Moana. So you're gonna have to step it up next time, buddy. That's needing to step it up. Fucking Kambosos
goes the distance with a late replacement no one's ever heard of, except Jacob in the Discord. The Aussie Jacob?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently he fights with him, or from the same gym.
Oh, shit.
He was at the fights cheering for him, yeah.
Yeah,
actually, in the second half, Wiley was doing well. Maybe not winning, but doing well.
Yeah, I was going to say, he held his own. And I wonder, pardon the expression, but giving Kambosos the benefit of the doubt here. This is a late replacement. You have no idea who he is. You probably can't find any footage on him, so you don't know what to expect. You're kind of game planning on the fly, maybe?
No.
No?
Kambosos has no fucking excuses on this one. That Wiley guy came in, he looked awed by the moment. He was nervous, he was stiff, he looked like shit in the first 3 rounds. And Kambosos, I think he got a knockdown, maybe, but he didn't finish it. He let him get into the fight in the second half. Kambosos should be much too good for these domestic fights. He should not be going the distance, especially not with a late replacement.
Who was
I don't think Wiley was particularly impressive, to be honest. I think Kambosos was just shit. I'm glad that Wiley went the distance. He looks super fucking happy with that accomplishment, and he should be.
Yeah, it's a real life Rocky story.
Yeah, but
Kambosos should be ashamed of himself.
He should be, though. I don't know. I don't understand how he keeps getting fights. He has the best fucking manager promoter team in boxing. He has turned one kind of fluke win, not a fluke. He deserved that win. He beat Teofimo, but he turned one win into fucking 10 big fights.
Yeah. At least the bigger ones, the better of his opponents have been really messing him up. Lomachenko really took him to school.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Confused.
Who was it recently that had a late replacement and they bopped him out in the first 3 rounds? And they said exactly what you said. This is the late replacement.
Joseph Parker?
It wasn't a heavyweight.
Well, I mean, Joseph Parker beat, I'm bad with names, Spicoli, right? Super fast? Came in super fat?
Yes. It wasn't who I was thinking of, but that's good enough of an example. That's what you're supposed to do. You got dudes coming in on 3 days' notice.
Don't let them get very far.
Right. You're the one that's fully prepared. Even if the game plan has to change, you are a boxer. You're supposed to be able to make the adjustments.
Yeah. Kambosos should not be going the distance with any of those domestic level guys in Australia.
Plot twist. He is a domestic level Australian guy.
This is true.
So he's doing exactly what he should be doing.
Because he never should have been world class?
No, he should not have been.
Maybe, but then everybody should acknowledge that. Stop giving him good fights.
Right. You can have him headline these like domestic dust ups, but definitely keep him off of that should have been Princess Sky's fucking her headlining the downfall.
I missed that fight. I forgot to put it on the outline.
Did you not see it or
no? I missed it.
Oh yeah, it was good.
I heard she deserved the loss.
She did. I would say that she was just a little bit behind. Not enough aggression. Just a little too slow. A little too heavy in the feet. Just a shade, not enough. And with that compounding over round, she deserved that loss.
Can't say I'm too upset by it. Yeah. I am not a Sky fan.
No, I only really mentioned her for the same reason I mentioned Tension so much.
Yeah, because it annoys the hell out of me.
Just to needle you a little bit. That's really
yeah.
Oh, I completely forgot to get the fight order on this one. There's a few cards coming up that are all really fun. I don't even have it open.
It should be on your website, right?
I wanted to... I have the other doc right next to it. I had it. I thought I did anyway. All right. Yeah, the website has all the details. Look at me. I'm really good at this.
I just pulled up the lvxmedia.net calendars.
It's a good one. What do we got here? Only like the top
somebody did say it looks like the blue screen of death, and now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, that was Bally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to find a new shade of blue, but the idea is all the boxing stuff is blue, all the MMA stuff is red.
That makes sense.
Only the top three stick out to me. Yokasta Valle, who beat Senisa Estrada. Eat your own shit, Chris Mannix. Yeah.
I don't know about this one, though. I actually, in the pick league, I picked Esparza.
Why?
So, Valle's moving up 2 weight classes.
Oh, shit, that's right.
And Esparza's only moving down 1. So, Esparza's going to be big.
Esparza's been looking like shit lately, though.
Yeah, but she's also tough as nails.
Yeah.
And she's going to be big. She's coming from 15 pounds heavier than Valle's last fight. They're meeting at 12 pounds heavier. That's a lot.
It is a big jump.
We'll see. I've been wrong before, but I'm calling an upset on this one. I think Esparza is going to be too big and too tough, and Valle's not going to be able to prevent her from just swarming like Esparza does.
Yokasta Valle, born in Nicaragua, lives in Costa Rica. She is the jungle goddess, jungle warrior goddess.
Nice.
And then cute as fuck Marlon Esparza. I'm going with my warrior goddess here.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't think Marlon has it anymore, as much as it pains me to say.
Maybe. I don't know. I have a feeling she's gonna be too big. I think they are underestimating Esparza, and it's gonna piss her off.
With how she's looked recently, yeah, it would be. I can see why she'd be underestimated.
We'll see. I like Esparza.
Speaking of underestimated, Oscar Collazo, the WBO minimum weight champion. Underestimated. I'm not. Wanted that to mean he's short, but I couldn't make it work. Versus Edwin Cano Hernandez. I'm expecting Collazo to make easy work of this.
Yeah. I was debating whether to put down knockout or not. I don't think I put any guesses on type of win.
And the rematch, William Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer. Holy shit.
I'm excited.
Was great. The first one was great. I expect the second to be the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really torn on this one. I don't even know who to cheer for. I really like Zepeda, but I think Farmer deserves a win finally. He always gets fucked.
I thought he won the first one.
I did too, and they stole it from him.
Yeah, just by virtue of the knockdown, that being the deciding factor. I don't think this... I wonder if Zepeda turns up the heat a little sooner.
Yeah, I think Zepeda will not be as surprised this time.
Right.
I think Zepeda underestimated Farmer a bit in the first fight.
Underestimating Kazakhstan? Johnny Beck's next fight is going to be in Kazakhstan? That's pretty damn cool.
I thought it was cool. I don't recognize anyone's name on this card, but...
I have them split into the two that really matter.
Well, and maybe I just don't know how to read the names. Maybe I'll recognize them when you say them.
Batirzan Jukambayev, you should remember from Pro Box. He fought on Pro Box like 4 times. I'm not sure who Con Gardner is.
That is not how I was reading that.
And Johnny Beck Alim Kanuli, Flem the KH, pro tip. Versus, man, this guy is...
This guy.
Ngami Senge, I think I got that one. I know it.
Apparently he's from France?
He's from somewhere.
He's born in the Congo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his nationality is listed as French.
Yeah, former colonies.
Yeah, I think this one's on ESPN Plus.
It is. This one will be starting around 1 or 2 on the West Coast.
I always like seeing these smaller countries get some recognition. And it's nice that Janibek gets to fight at home.
Yeah. You know, like, I wonder how Golovkin is going to look because he's going to be there.
Yeah.
I wonder how
he's going to look fat.
Yeah. Maybe, man, I was working it out. I was getting close to getting like a sample package of Triple G's energy drink.
Oh, really?
Sent from Astana, sent to me. And so I could.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I would pay for the product and they would ship it for free. That's what we were working on.
Nice.
I was excited for it would just be like 2 of each flavor they had, which I think they only have 3.
Still though.
Yeah, not available outside of Kazakhstan at the moment.
I'm excited to just kind of see what a Kazakhstan crowd looks like. Like, are they going to be super hype? Is it going to be quiet?
I hope so.
What clothes are they going to wear? Is it just going to be normal stuff, or are people going to come in like
fur coats and the big poofy hats?
Well, I mean, it's probably not cold this time of year, but Canada doesn't have it. But like, if I was going to be going to something on TV and I was from one of these countries with cool traditional clothes, I would dress the fuck out of my national clothes.
Yeah, wear traditional style clothing.
I think it'd be cool.
It would be cool. That's what I hope to see.
And I know they don't do it, but if they fought in Ukraine, I would love to see the ladies in the dresses. There's a very specific Ukrainian style dress that they wear when they do the dances in Saskatchewan. Maybe it's not even a thing in Ukraine anymore, but There's a lot of those old traditions in Canada that have been dropped by the original countries.
Oh, well, speaking of being dropped by the original country, Tim Zoo.
So rude.
Yeah, this one starts at about 5 on the West Coast. This will be
5
like
a.m. or 5 p.m.?
PM. This will be like Sunday morning for you.
Rats.
Yeah. There's only like 3 fights really worth paying attention to anyway. Andre Mikhailovich versus Blake Wells. Mikhailovich is the dude he fought Alim Kanuli in Australia most recently. And
yeah, I recognize his face.
Yeah. Cohen Mazoudier, he's a good prospect. He's 12-4-1, so I don't know what you want to call him, but he's good to watch. So that should be a fun fight. And I expect Dan Hill being 7-1, they're giving him probably giving him more of the push. And Mazoudier's like the top of the domestic level sort of gatekeeper.
Test before you go farther.
Yeah. And Tim Zoo versus Joey Spencer. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Joey Spencer's not very good.
Yeah, Tim Zoo needs a confidence booster, though.
Right.
I mean, for Zoo's career, this is the right thing to do. He looked scared in that last fight.
Yeah, against
like
Murtazaliev. Yeah.
They had, was it a head clash? And he kept checking for blood. Like, looked kind of PTSD to me.
It kind of was like being afraid of another gash.
I mean, man, he lost so much blood in that Fundora fight. I would be scared too. But if he wants to be a world level boxer, he's got to get over it.
Right. I think this is what this is getting over it.
Giving him a bit of a soft touch, get some round-ins, realize, like, I'm not going to get cut every fight like that.
I noticed that they keep referring to Joey Spencer as dangerous. That's what they keep calling him in all of the promo stuff. Is he, though? Right. Yeah, no, he's not.
His picture on BoxRec, he looks like he's 12.
Yeah, he does have a very young-looking face.
He does, and I'm sure in that picture he's not 12, but he looks like some middle school football player. I don't know. I hope Tim Zoo does what he's supposed to do. I hope he gets in there and he kind of takes care of business in the first half of the fight.
Yeah, the way he should, right?
Yeah. Get some confidence back. Give him maybe another test-ish afterwards. Like something he should win, but should be a little difficult. And then try and get him back in the world title hunt. All assuming that, he doesn't get bopped trying to check for blood again.
Oh, that wouldn't be good.
No. If he loses to Joey Spencer, he should be done.
Pack it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, no good setups for a segue there. Moving to Richard Torres. This is a busy-ass day.
Yeah. This one's later though, right?
It'll be at about 7. So
no, I mean it's next week.
Oh, right.
Is it not like April 6th or something? Or I guess probably the 5th. It'll be your Saturday, my Sunday.
April 5th. Yeah, it's on the same day. Just later in the day.
Yeah.
The main event, if they have Abdullah Mason as the co-main, which if you're smart, that's what you do. The main and co-main should be done after Tim Zoo. The whole day lines up actually really nicely. So you have Queensberry at the top with Joe Joyce and Filip Hrgović. That's kind of the only fight worth anything on there. That should be
how did I miss that on the outline? I really want Joe Joyce to make a comeback. I don't think he's going to, but I want another Joe Joyce title run.
I think he'll get past this. I think he'll be okay. That card should be wrapping up at about the time we're getting to the top 2 for the Kazakhstan card. And that should be wrapping up about the time the main portion of PBC is starting on Prime, which should be wrapping up about the time the main portion starts for Top Rank.
That is a busy day, though.
It is. It's a nice day, though. It's a nice Saturday.
That is going to be, if I want to watch it all, that's going to be me staying up all fucking night.
Yeah, through the entire night, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the British stuff, the main events are usually about 2 a.m.
Oh, that's all we got here, though. I don't have anything else. Let me do this real quick. You've been listening to the Boxing B-Sides Side Piece, a Lux Media production. If you're just dying to tell us how fucking casual you think we are, you can be a duck and text the anonymous line 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, leave a voice message or send a voice note in WhatsApp. And if you're entertaining enough, you might make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, all of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of things get cut from the final release. So if you want the raw audio exactly as it's recorded, look us up on Patreon, LVX Media Net, over there just like everywhere else. You can also get the ad-free version of the episode you just heard on there too. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out by checking out the ad sponsors. You can also give us a rating on whatever your preferred podcast player is. And don't forget, shop.lvx.be is where you can get merch and help us while you're snagging some threads for yourself. Intro and outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats. And for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. All right. So, this will be out after this will be heading into the weekend of the upcoming cards.
Yeah.
So, parting words. What do you got?
Parting words. Eat your vegetables. I don't.
Drink water. Eat fruit for breakfast.
If you're gonna have sugar, have it in the morning. Oh, another update. That Saskatchewan taking Budweiser off the shelves and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't even last a full week.
Not even a full week.
Nope. I think they started lobbying them, like the local government guys started lobbying the provincial government guys 2 days in, and they pulled the ban, I think, within 5 days. Didn't even last a whole work week.
Wow.
I told you the farmers would get pissed off and this would get taken care of.
Yeah. I saw a video actually online. It was the farmers like dumping shit on
Was it?
Yeah, on people, like government buildings or people's lawns.
Yeah.
Blocking their driveways with a big pile of dookies.
I mean, it's a pretty effective form of protest. And it's not just a Saskatchewan thing. Like, I think the French farmers use it a lot. But the French are the best at protesting.
Yeah. We want to lower the retirement age by a week. Absolutely the fuck not. All right, I got a quote for this one. A little more persistence, a little more effort, and what seemed hopeless failure may turn to glorious success, says Albert Hubbard. So, when you're wondering, man, can I stay awake to watch 4 fucking boxing cards in a row, all back to back? Just a little more persistence.
Yeah. I'll just have to sleep all day Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, but that'll do it. We be out of here.
Bye.
Welcome to the fucking show. All right, just a quick blurb, just so you could get back to what you were doing. why would a boxing fan, let's assume they're like a purist or some shit. Why would they want to watch MMA? Why would they want to listen to an MMA show?
I'm gonna come at this from sort of like a primal level. So I will admit there are like some very like unique and like stark differences between MMA and boxing, and it seems like one of the main things that keeps boxing fans away from MMA is the grappling aspect. And yes, sometimes it can be, you know, a lay and pray type of fight, and it can get old. But man, like, it's just instinctual. Man, some of these people, the way they fight in MMA is just brutal. And I feel like that's what it comes down to when it comes to being a combat fan, a combat sports fan. I mean, we saw it just recently, Mauricio Rufy versus Bobby Green, a spinning back fit or spinning a wheel kick. Man, they went viral, and it's something that everyone can appreciate, even boxing fans. I know if you have a few friends that are boxing fans, who I sent them that clip. I mean, and they were amazed, and that, you know, they one even told me that they wish they would have seen it live, because seeing that type of stuff live just elicits like a euphoric feeling that, you know, you can't get. I mean, it happens in boxing too. Whenever you see like an amazing fight, but I just gotta say, like, in MMA, you get those type of fights as well, just in a different type. It's different, but sort of the same. It's sort of weird how I describe it, but it's different but the same. It comes down to that same like carnal or primal instinct of just like fights.
Yeah, I always think like the easiest transition that I always recommend, I say this all the time on Ultimate Fucking Casuals, is if you're not too keen on the grappling, Muay Thai and kickboxing are exactly where you want to start. Like, you start working in the kicks, the elbows, the knees, that's all that stuff, and you can come to learn to appreciate grappling. I never thought I would, and here I am.
Yeah. Like I said, some of it is very boring. Some of the grappling, it depends on the fighters. But sometimes, man,
there's boring boxing fights all the time.
Yeah, you're true. I mean, or you're right. But man, some of these grapplers, man, these scrambles that they do, it is like pretty crazy just to see it. Like, you know, rolling around the floor. I mean, you can see the stuff that they're doing in between in the scrambles. I mean, it's sort of crazy. Flipping someone over, the trips. I mean, it can be fun. But yeah, you're right. The easiest transition is definitely start out with Muay Thai, kickboxing, and, you know, slowly work your way into MMA. And you know, this is the thing about the Ultimate Fucking Casuals. We will let you know which fights are going to be good. Which ones, you know, if you're not too in tune with the grappling, we can get maybe a little tag or a little asterisk on certain fights saying, like, this is a boxing purist type of fight.
Yeah.
You can watch this and enjoy this. Like, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we always try. Like, I came into this, the whole show was started with me. I didn't know shit about MMA. I'd never really seen an MMA fight in its entirety in my entire life. And I came into this with nothing. And yeah, that's where we're at now, is like, we're talking, like, I make sure, I go out of my way to bring up Muay Thai and bring up kickboxing so that people know, like, this is for boxing fans to know, this is where you can start. All right. Well, yeah, that was about it. I really appreciate your time. Thanks, Isaac, for jumping on real quick.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
All right.
Thank you.